Yes, it's the time of year when, as my dad used to say, it can rain cats and dogs, which is just one of, I'm sure, dozens of colorful ways of saying it's raining really, really hard. 'Tis the season for sure. Back on Monday afternoon, a viewer near Harrisburg emailed me reporting half an inch of rain in 15 minutes. The previous Monday, almost 2.5 inches fell between 5 and 6 p.m. at the Northeast Philadelphia Airport, the most rain on record there in 1 hour. And that got me thinking about the greatest 1-hour rainfalls across the state. Just how hard can it rain here? Well, here's the answer for 10 of the main observing sites. In general, the records range from nearly 3 inches in 1 hour in Allentown and Philadelphia to just shy of 2 in northern locations such as Bradford and Scranton. Two things to keep in mind about these numbers. First, hourly data only goes back about 75 years at most, so it's a somewhat limited data set. And second, these are top of the hour to top of the hour. So they wouldn't catch, for example, a deluge that began at half past the hour and ended at half past the next. With that in mind, here's the dates on which these occurred. All in the warm season, 4 in July, 2 in August, 1 in June, 2 in the first half of September, and the Johnstown record was set in late May. The Harrisburg record is quite the outlier. More than 4¼ inches between 6 and 7 p.m. on July 23, 2017. A very localized cloudburst. Less than half an inch fell just a few miles downriver at the York Haven Dam. Now, when I looked through the weather maps from these extreme rainfall events, some common traits jumped out at me. First, none of the records were directly tied to a decaying tropical system. Instead, the culprit was some sort of boundary, a stalled front, for example, plus, in most cases, a potent upper air disturbance, what we'd call a shortwave. In addition, the vertical sum of all the moisture in the atmosphere, what we call precipitable water, was off the charts in all cases. And finally, just enough instability and weak upper air winds to produce thunderstorms that moved relatively slowly. So how hard can it rain in other parts of the country? Well, here's the greatest 1-hour rainfalls on record for some cities in the Deep South. With the exception of the Harrisburg outlier, these are all 1 to 2 inches greater than the Pennsylvania records, simply a function of being closer to sources of warm water and thus almost unlimited evaporation. Now, here's the dates of occurrence. They're spread out more on the calendar than in Pennsylvania, some in April, including Miami, some in November, Houston, for example. Testimony to the available of copious moisture during more of the year. It's worth noting that even here, only one of these records was directly caused by a tropical system. The Atlanta record in July of 2005 was the result of a tropical storm named Cindy. What about U.S. and world records for 1-hour rainfall? Well, there's still some debate about this, though the World Meteorological Organization says the U.S. and world record is 12 inches in 1 hour in the small town of Holt, Missouri, near Kansas City, back in June 1947. Stay tuned. Our extended forecast is next.